So, welcome to We Need to Talk, because mental health is important and you should talk about it. Today's special guest is Charlene, aka Charlene. Introduce yourself, Charlene.
Hi, my name is Charlene. I am a corporate girly / artist by night.
Snaps for that. We love a corporate
No,
girly.
that actually sounds crazy though, artist by night. That sounds a little suspicious.
Even if
After hours. That's still so sad.
Even if you were a stripper girl, it doesn't matter. She's not a stripper, but we'll leave it up to the imagination. Mysterious. She's a mysterious girly by night. We love that for you.
Okay.
Yep. You're the one that said it.
I know.
We're rolling with the mystery
with it.
of artists by night. Literally, there's so many things that you could be doing.
I could be an assassin.
Yeah.
I
We
could
love assassins.
get back all black at night or a little black vehicle here and a slip back one. Yeah. I could be an assassin.
So, pretend that you didn't hear that. If not, she'll have to come and kill you. Just saying. Just saying. Anyways, so pick a number 1 through 10.
7?
Ooh. If you could have dinner with any fictional character, who would it be?
Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. I read a lot of books, by the way.
When I did this question already with another guest, we had to narrow it down to a movie person, a real life person, and a book person.
For a book person, oh gosh, no, but like all of these answers are like BookTok type people.
Yeah. Mine was a
Got
BookTok
it.
people.
Got it.
Mine was a BookTok person. And I said that he came from a spicy butt, but I was okay with that.
I want to meet. Is his name Zaid from Haunting Alley?
I don't read fantasy books.
I feel like
But if it's a
is his
fantasy
name
book,
Zaid?
I love that for you.
I want to meet him because like I need him as like a bodyguard in my life. Like I need someone that's devoted to like
You
just
need protection?
remove.
Now I'm
anything.
really feeling like she's an assassin, because what do you mean?
Remove anything that like is just not making me happy. But like his is a little too extreme. Like I don't want you in my house watching me sleep or anything. But like I want a level of like protection for like every day. I don't know. So that like my husband was not worried. Like he could send me anywhere and know like she's taken care of.
So Giovanni doesn't give that energy of bodyguard?
He does, but he can't be with me all the time. And I don't want to like I'm a lot. So his brain always has to be on. I want his brain to like turn off, and he's gonna know, you know what, she is being taken care of by a psycho. So he doesn't have to worry about me.
Fair.
Yeah. So like,
Is there ever any suspicion that you will fall in love with this bodyguard though?
nah, because you hope like
Why are you being a creeper?
we had this conversation too, you know, because Jelani always sends me TikToks about the same BookTok stuff that I love, but he's like, he shows like the realistic version. He's like, if this really happened in real life, what would your response? No, because why are you in my house leaving roses with thorns that you cut off? Like, no, and why are you killing people for me? Like,
romantically? Oh my goodness.
in the book, I'm like, yes, and then in reality, I'm like,
Wow.
no.
Let's take
several steps back.
several steps back, because that's
like
concerning.
No, it's actually concerning. But yeah, I would want to meet him and like sit down, just have a conversation. You know, just be like, here is what life is like, and you know, I want to be able to do these things, and I want my husband to just turn off his brain and be like, yeah, she's good, instead of always wondering, what is my wife doing this exact? She's too quiet. What is she doing this exact moment? Or is my wife having it out with a random taxi man on the road because he cut her off, and now do I have to protect her because it has happened? And you know, he got out the car and I was ready to get out too, and he was like, don't do that. But if I had Zaid, I get out the car. You see where this is going?
I follow.
So I definitely want to meet him and hire him.
Anybody else?
I don't know. Yeah, let's read our little. Oh, questionable.
I am going to go with. I like how I'm blanking on his name, even though I love this book and I know all of the things of this book. It ends with us. Atlas from It Ends With Us.
So
did you watch
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I have not read the book yet.
I love the book.
So I went.
Do you need to borrow the book?
Yes.
Because I have the book.
No, yes, because I saw it come out and I love a good movie. So I dragged John. Didn't want to go, but
yeah,
love you, babe. You love me.
Literally did the same thing.
And
I gave no context as to what was happening, and we just sat down.
I don't even know if I sent him the trailer or not. I don't think he had any context.
Girls, just girls, completely in
this theater. There were men actually came with their significant others, and it was hilarious. Anyway, and to add to that entire experience, we had two girls that were sitting behind us, and like they had commentary throughout the entire movie, and Johnny was in tears because it was so funny. And then when they weren't commenting, he was commenting because he had plenty to say. So like we were gonna get kicked out because why were we making so much noise? But it was a time. I enjoyed it. I think. And the thing is, it has so many mixed reviews too, right? Because people are like, oh, you're kind of glorifying domestic violence. But I actually think that it's an accurate representation
of how it is.
Because through the entire movie, I had, spoiler alert, through the entire movie, I genuinely was like, oh, but it's not that bad. Like, he's not actually hitting her. That was a mistake. Like, you tripped, and like his hand fell back. But then it was the perception of what she made herself think. And then at the end, I was like, Johnny, I was like, oh, what? Like, all this time, like, no, it was really good. It was actually really good.
Coming from somebody who read the book and then watched it, it was a different perspective. When I read the book, I had that perspective. I was like, yeah, sure. Are we being gaslit here? No, we're not being gaslit. They
did it so well because they just showed us what we thought it was supposed to be, an accident. Like the reflex and like where she turned and like he went to catch her and she fell on this. Like I was defending this man, and then when like they replayed and they just showed like what actually happened, my mouth literally dropped open.
I had to I was sobbing at that part, and I never cry with books, but I was like, no, because I fell in love with you. What do you mean? Like, I'm in love with you.
No, I need to read the
and
book.
I'm rooting for you. And you did this, and now I hate you. I can't stand you.
It was well written.
It was.
Okay.
I think that the reviews are literally just because of Colleen Hoover and Blake Lively. And the fact that Ryan Reynolds was a part of this movie. Because how they're playing it, Deadpool just came out. It Ends With Us is also coming out. So Blake and Ryan are like literally in each other's movies, just like things. So Ryan wrote the rooftop scene. So in the book, it kind of happens like that, similarly. It's not quite the same, but it happens like that. And he apparently is the one that did like the scene coordination for that. And people were upset that he was a part of the writing of that, and he was part of directing, and she was kind of, because Justin Baldoni, which is the guy that plays Ryle, which is the lead, he was actually the director. He was like, okay, I'll let Blake have some say in it because she's a woman and I can't speak for women on this entire thing. And that's what he's been saying this entire interview process, that it's like, this is a woman's perspective. The book is literally a woman's perspective. I don't want to step on any toes type of vibe. And then everybody was like, oh, no one follows him, so it must be a big thing, and blah, blah, blah.
Because I was seeing all the drama.
And I was just like,
what is happening?
None of this has anything to do with the book. I agree with him, though. Like, he wanted it to speak on domestic violence. But I also agree with Blake's statement of, the book isn't just domestic violence. It's not just her getting hit. She isn't, like, I wouldn't go as far as to be like, oh, girlies, wear your florals and come out to watch the movies.
Right.
That's what that's true.
Right. But there are other things and there are other topics discussed in the book. I need to read it now.
Getting her independence, her relationship with her father. So when you read the book, her relationship with her father and going through that journey with Atlas is a huge part of it.
Okay.
So obviously they couldn't like dive in deep on every single part, but she writes stories to Ellen because she watches Ellen DeGeneres every single afternoon, and they show a scene of that in the movie, but it's more literally like every single chapter has like a Dear Ellen, and then she like explains it in that way. That's why I love the book so much because it has so many different pieces to it. And people were pissed off at Colleen because she wanted to do a coloring book. I would have loved a coloring book, by the way. I'm interested in that. Like, people were like, that's so insensitive and blah, blah. And I was like, relax. She could promote the book. How she want to promote the book?
This is also true.
Like, she gets that it's the message. Like, I think people are just, like, taking it too far. How Blake did it? Yes. She should be promoting it more with trigger warnings.
Yeah.
And shouldn't be like, oh,
because watching her interview, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, when I first saw it, I actually didn't know what it was about at all. Because I never read the book, obviously, so I'm going in like, oh, rom-com. I watched her interview and I was like, oh, rom-com.
It's not a rom-com.
And then I messaged my mom and my sister and I was like, hey, you guys want to go watch this movie? And my mom was like, hey, girl.
You're going to get triggered.
It's not a rom-com. Yeah. Like, she was like, I'm just warning you so you know. So then obviously I went in knowing. But imagine if I didn't message them when I went in like, come babe, let's watch this cute little rom-com. And they're like,
and you got triggered. So that part, I agree. Like, literally, she should not have been promoting it like this.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's just like, I think we putting a little bit too much. She's an actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
not her story.
Sensitive.
Yeah.
Era.
And they're like, oh my gosh, Blake is a terrible person and she's a mean girl. And now it's like going back to all her previous like casts and being like, oh, that's why they don't follow her. And that clip of Ellen Pompeo sitting next to her at a fashion show on Sunday. And I was like,
you read too much into things. Oh my, it was like they just took it and ran with it. And there's a deep dive into every single interaction. Oh my goodness.
I love Blake as an actress just because I love the characters that she plays.
I agree. I feel
I fall in love, like every single thing that she's been in, I've fallen in love with her character. So unfortunately, the world can't make me hate her.
It can never make me hate you.
Exactly. I agree that she shouldn't have done that like that way. But because I read the book, I was also just like, there's bound to be trigger, but some people are really sorry. And as a psychologist, I'm like, you should really put up trigger warnings. But it's just like, all right, fair enough.
Poster, I'm just like,
it's not that at all.
I was so ready. I love my mom. She was just like, oh.
Sweet girl. just be prepared.
My mom and my sister are just like, you're living in delusion, and we're here to remind you.
You're about to fall in love with the wrong person.
Yeah, I know. And even though I knew going into it, I was just like, he's so nice.
I also went into the movie being like, oh my gosh, I hate you so much. And I know what you're going to do.
And it didn't work, did it? No.
It's so bad. I love it.
I know. That's what made it so good. That's what made it so good.
When Atlas came up, I was like...
If you're liking this episode, please like, subscribe, press the bell notification, share, and comment.
I'm not that attracted to you as an actor by yourself that much. You're like, okay. But when he showed up...
But I think that was also so good. They made sure that when you fell in love with that villain, they were like, oh, that saving, that knight in shining armor. No, you're just going to look at him and be like, meh. They were smart. They tricked us.
I felt Blake's butterflies when he walked to the table, though. When her world stopped... Like, that's what they did so good in that movie. When her world stopped as soon as he just showed up, it's like thinking about first love all over again.
And let's talk about that scene, right? Because we were so confused as to why he was mad. Because obviously we had the perception of, like, the accident. So I was like, Johnny and I was like, what is my game? It was so stupid. Like, it was literally an accident. And then going back, we were like, oh no.
He knew.
We are the ones who were tricked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was so good.
That makes you love him more.
I know.
That makes you go, he knew how bad it was just from one look at her. He was so in tune with her from the time that they were teenagers, like, and their love was an innocent love when they were teenagers. Exactly. It wasn't even like, of course, like, it got romantic, but it started so genuine as in, you're homeless and I'm not gonna let you be homeless
and suffer.
I'm gonna take care of you. And then the gardening scene and them just falling like best friends and they're falling in love and you're like living for this. And then
I need to read it. I will not watch it over. I need to read it. I will not hurt myself like that.
I could only read it once, to be quite fair.
Yeah, I feel like I'm all at everything, so I could only read it once. When I read it, I'm gonna message you and be like, hi, you owe me a therapy session because I'm crying.
I will give you that therapy session because I know how traumatizing that book is. You get so wrapped, especially if you're a book person, because we're BookTok people, you get wrapped up in that book. And if you like Colleen Hoover, you tend to like fall into her book.
What else did she write? I'm wondering if she wrote, there's this book that I'm obsessed with.
She wrote Maybe Someday, Maybe Now, Maybe something else.
Is she also the vlog? Was it
Verity? Mm-hmm. She wrote Verity.
You see how we're rambling? Because you see Verity? So I don't know. Someone was reading it.
Layla. I have a lot of them.
Someone was reading Verity, and they were like, this book is crazy. Like, I can't put it down. So I was just like, because I'd seen her on TikTok, but I never read her books yet. I was like, okay, let me read this book. When I tell you, I started that book, I want to say afternoon. It was like 1 a.m. I'm running out to Jelani like, oh my gosh, she's alive. And I'm screaming at him, she's alive. He has no idea what I'm talking about. He's looking at me like, who's alive?
All of her books.
Your heart, and my heart, like, why am I reading? And my heart is like thudding. I'm in my house. My heart is like,
pardon me? Wait.
He didn't even know I was still up. That's because normally, you know me, I go to bed.
We're early girlies.
I go to bed at like 9 o'clock is late, okay?
Mm-hmm. At like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm attached to the book just going, no. So imagine he's thinking, it's just him up, he's gaming, and I run out screaming, she moved! And he's like, why are you even still up? Like, go to bed, the book's still gonna be there. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm finishing this today. It was so good. Have you started any Abby Jimenez books?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
You should.
I see, now you're adding things to me.
She's not, hers isn't,
Wait. What do you mean?
I was about to be like, hers aren't as traumatic. Hers aren't as deep. It's like, you go fluff, and then you get to the end and you go,
okay. Whereas for Verity, I would.
For all of Colleen Hoover, the entire book, we're going, no, please.
And I'm like holding this tension.
Girl, I just cry. Like, Colleen has made me cry. I don't cry for other books, but the Abby Jimenez one. I already gave a spoiler in a different episode, so I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to actually let you read the book.
Okay.
Girl.
No, I need to get back into reading. That's a great way, usually, for my brain to like turn off after a really long day.
Let's get to mental health. Because being a BookTok person, honestly, it messes with my mental health. Mm-hmm. It's great for my mental health, but it can also put me in a spiral. Because just like how we're talking about Colleen Hoover, like sometimes I finish the book and I don't know what to do with myself.
Or like it's so good that you are now depressed, because you are feeling whatever
all
grief
the
or like.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Johnny walks in, he's like, "Why are you crying?" This happened. He's like, "It's not
real."
But
at the same time, it is real to me.
Exactly. But what I will say is sometimes it's a great catharsis. Like after all that horrible feeling goes away, I feel like, I had a good cry. I can start the week fresh. It actually feels a little insane thinking about it, but it's helpful. But then it also messes with your sleep cycle. If you're like stuck in a really good
Yes.
book, and you know you have to wake up in the morning, but you are reading at 2 o'clock.
I can't go to the next task, which is whatever the next day is. I can't go to that and be like, yeah, I'm not thinking about the book that I haven't finished. It is, and I'm okay with that. You know,
I'm the same way.
Okay,
I'm like, no, I'm like, okay, I'm like, I'll go to bed after I finish this chapter, but then it turns into, I might as well finish the book because I have this much left.
Yes, and I'm not gonna finish, and I'm not gonna stop when it's literally so good that I need to know how it ends.
Thank you.
But there are other books where I'm just like, you're pissing me off, you're pissing me off, you're pissing me off. You better end well because you're pissing me off.
Yes.
I'm not a DNFer. Do not finish. I'm not a DNFer.
But then I'm upset that I actually saw it through to the end, and I'm like, I could have really
you wasted my time.
Yep.
This was awful.
Yeah.
Like and then there's some books that I start and I love it so much, and then it ends stupid, and I'm like.
And then you're like, I could have given you a better ending, and then oh no, let's talk about. You realize it ends stupidly. So then I go to sleep and I think of all the scenarios of how it could have ended, rather than just going to sleep. Oh my goodness, we could talk about books and book talk.
You read Every Summer or whatever it is. Every Summer by Carly Fortune or whatever. That was one of the popular books.
I read The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Listen to me. All of those summer books.
You need to give me. You know what?
I have the physical copies.
Yeah.
I'll just give you the ones I have finished.
Do I just see me walking with a stack of books and be like, how did we get here? Like, who is enabling this?
But Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, it started so it reeled you in because it's like it starts with like something happened in the past, and you're trying to figure out what the hell happened in the past, and you're reading and you're going, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so big. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be so big. What happened in the past? What happened in the past? And then when you get to what happened in the past, you're like,
that's it? Is that big? I thought you were gonna say you never find out because that's even worse.
When I got to what happened in the past, I was disgusted
So
by the story. I said, how are you gonna wrap this up? How are you gonna finish this? Because you just gave yourself a big bomb, and I don't see how you're gonna fix this to the point where I like how it ends.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're the same.
And then I got on BookTok, and people were feeling like that too.
Okay, so
you were just like
you're validated. You're like, you know what? It's not just me.
No, there are some people who are like, oh my god, I love this book so much. But I was like, no. I don't know what you just did, darling.
I feel like it's also because people read books for different reasons. So like maybe the reason why they're okay with it is because maybe it helps them understand that not all trauma has to be like not using Charlene.
No. That book especially, I literally got to the end and I was just like, Carly, I don't like you. I don't know why you did this to me, and I wasted my time reading this book. So wait. If you wasted your time, why am I gonna read it? Because 3/4 of the book is amazing.
Okay, fair enough.
The beginning,
fair enough,
and you get deep into it. You're like, I need to know what happened.
So at least 3/4 was well written, and the rest. Maybe she had a deadline, and she was like, all right, I just need to finish it up, get it out.
But you know how there's some things that you can't come back from? She wrote something that you can't come back from. It wasn't something that could be resolved. It's like, you can't come back from this. How?
Maybe that was her intention.
But then she wraps up the story and you're like, no,
immediately. No.
I'm feeling these feelings, and I'm sure that I'm feeling the same feelings as this other character. No, that's not how this works. I can't just let this go. And the person is just like, it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Jira also, like, Happy Place.
You see, how you're gonna have to give me like an actual list.
And I'm not an Emily Henry fan. I'm so sorry, everyone. So sorry.
I don't know how I read it.
Are you even on BookTok? Because every time Emily Henry comes out, she has like a split demographic though. Yes,
Let's talk
even
about
the
this.
heated, sexy fantasy people also read Emily Henry for some
Okay, what are the
reason.
names of...
Book lovers, people we meet on vacation,
I'm trying to see
something else.
but...
You see, right? I'm not an Emily Henry person, so I can't really list all of her books.
No.
But it's like a romance book that, like, books. People say if you like X, Y, and Z, then you will like A, B, and C. So I think she has like 6 books or something like that. And like you either like half or like the other half.
Okay.
That's what people tend to say. There was one I tried to start and I just couldn't get through it. And I was like, yeah, I don't do this.
There's some that I actually was like,
And I had to
and normally, because I was saying normally, I just see it through. I hate not finishing a book, but there's somewhere I'm like, no, I really just can't invest any more of my time reading it.
There's another story. How to end a love story is in third person. Charlene. Charlene. It's in the
Are you finding these
the
things?
entire book is in the third person. Why? Why would you do that?
So you'll talk about
You already have dual perspectives, but they're not dual perspectives because it's in the third person. So it's dual perspective. I'm the third person. I can't read it. I can't do it. I tried so hard to keep going, and also it's like a grief book, and I was like,
I feel like I would be interested to see what that kind of.
give it to
You
you.
need to be.
I won't even finish it. I'll just give it to you.
I just see one of these pile of books.
I'll give it to you. I have too many books. Like, I'm thinking that when I move into my new place, whenever that may be, I'm just gonna have a book nook.
You should, and then you should have like an exchange. People just come and like,
Yeah, I
yeah.
plan to do that.
My sister would
I
frequent your house all
also-
the time. Mind you, she has like so many books she has not started.
I want to do the thing that they have over Brandon's Beach, the free library. I actually
Yeah.
want to do one of those
You should.
out here because I don't really want people coming out here, but at the same time, I love the idea of the free library. But people put crap in the free library, but I'd be putting all the hot TikTok books in the free library,
Agreed.
and everybody would just be like, and then we just have a community.
Yeah.
I love that
That'd
so
be
much.
nice.
I also now have on my bucket list. This has gone so left.
We knew it would. We knew it would.
I now have on my bucket list to go to Oregon to the world's largest bookstore.
And then and where are you fitting everything that you buy?
In my suitcase, in my second suitcase, in my partner's suitcase, in my partner's second suitcase. I discussed this.
So your partner is not gonna be able to pack clothes.
No.
Neither will you.
Well, there's nothing else in Oregon. No offense to Oregon. Nothing else in Oregon. So we're literally only going.
But if there's nothing there, that means you need to pack clothes. You can't like.
Well, we're not going anywhere except for the bookstore.
So you're gonna wear one pair of jeans, and pack like a few tops,
Yeah.
and just rotate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have a plan,
I have
and I'm
a plan.
concerned that you have a plan. Like,
I have a plan.
I'm so
I have a
concerned.
plan. Because why not? Like, I'm gonna be
Fair enough.
not sightseeing, not
Fair
doing
enough.
anything else.
Fair enough.
The bookstore, I'd have to go more than one day because it's that big. It literally has a map.
You're not even gonna be able to finish all the books that I can imagine that you're going to pack
That's
into your
okay.
suitcase. And then books weigh a lot.
Girl, I'm also just gonna shit on myself. I've thought about this, and I'm just saying to
No,
myself,
you've thought it through.
I'm
way
spending a
too
lot of
much.
money, and that's okay. There are those BookTok people who like count books. When you have 1,000 books, it's a library. And then they have these stamps that they created where they put
That
like
would be you.
library of.
How many books do you have so far? Have you started counting?
No, I don't have 1,000 books though. I don't have 1,000 books.
Okay.
I don't have anywhere near 1,000 books, but
Okay.
I will get there someday, and I'm not ashamed of it.
And no, but let's also know that when you get there, that's when you will have the free library.
Yeah.
because Why?
Except for
Why?
except for these special books that I love a lot. So like, It Ends With Us would never be in the free library.
You would have to
Get another
copies.
copy. Mhm.
Get copies. Like more than one.
Yeah.
There's certain books I feel like you can get multiple copies of because you know like
This
people.
is my favorite book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can have like owners' favorites, and you can change them out like every other week.
Yeah.
My
This is
sister
my
would-
hustle, and it's not even for money.
I know, right?
We could make it like a charity and like have people donate money. Just be like sprinkle a little $1 or $5. Just
You're right,
contribution to the cause.
Whatever the cause may be. Oh, you have to choose what you want.
Freedom, mental health, self-care.
What charity is it going to?
Literacy.
Literacy. Okay.
Because there are a lot of people in Barbados who struggle with reading.
Okay, fair.
Or a charity about dyslexia. I'm smart and I have a degree and I can I can justify anything. Okay. It's like that girl. There's a meme that I saw on TikTok where the guy is like, "Oh, what's one of your toxic traits?" And she goes, "Well, you know what? No." And he goes, "I don't think you said anything." And she's just like, "Yeah, because I could justify every trait that I have." And I was like, me. She didn't say a thing. Like, entire conversation in her head of like, "Well, you see, no, you know."
You can justify everything too, don't worry.
Yeah. Like, there's so many talks. Like, me wanting 1,000 books. Why?
No, you're like my sister.
Why would I do?
Definitely like my sister.
There's some books that I just won't read again.
She has books that like are still like wrapped because she would have gotten them as like a gift and they're still in nice pretty plastic. And she's like, "I'm gonna get to these this year," and I'm like, But those were from like 2022. Like, are we?
I got 7 books for my birthday.
And we haven't touched them yet.
No, I have. I've read 2 already this week.
Ooh.
Because I know once I start, I don't stop.
Oh,
and that's why I was
forget.
telling you about Abby Jimenez, because I just started getting into her books. And I was like, you know what? For my birthday this year, I don't even want like a whole bunch of material things for things. I just want books.
Yeah.
I just want to read. So even if it was like a copy on a Kindle or whatever, because I have the Kindle app, I'd have just been like,
that's what I get for most of us on the Kindle app. And you know they have the free.
That's dangerous.
You don't have those free.
Girl, Audible, me having I have too many books from Stuff Your Kindle Day. And those ones I don't read.
My library?
Those ones I don't read.
Because why did I think
downloaded 25 books was gonna happen?
Only 20.
I'm just giving a number that
because we know that number is closer to
we're giving.
We know what that number looks like.
I'm saying
like if someone goes show me your library, I'm like
we're gonna go with 25 books. Why? Don't me.
No, my sister's the same. And we also have, I think we all have like different books. And then she messaged me, I think recently, she was like, "Oh, there's another like free Stuff Your Kindle Day," and I was like, "No more."
The real Stuff Your Kindle people. So apparently, multiple different people are doing Stuff Your Kindle Days, and that's why there's so many. But it originally started with like literally just a Stuff Your Kindle Day sponsored by like people that actually do Kindle, and not just people who like new authors. So it's like a new author thing. Just in case you don't know, it's a new author thing where they bring out books and they give free books so that you go and read these new authors instead of just the BookTok things, which is nice. But sometimes it's just like your stories are still supposed to be on Wattpad, and you know it. You know it. I love Wattpad. I love Wattpad.
We could talk about Wattpad.
Wattpad is literally how I got into reading more young adult books.
Thank you. Oh, it was so good.
Because the library just wasn't librarying anymore. The library.
Not only that, they closed my library.
Yeah, mine too.
Like my library is. The books are probably still in that library being eaten by bookworms as we speak. Yeah. Oyston's library. Loved Oyston's library. It was so beautiful. I could sit and look at the beach. A national treasure. Like, all of those books. Like my favorite book from and the thing is, as a child there was this book that I fell in love with, and I'm still trying to find it because like
literally me though. Literally me.
I remember it from the library. I borrowed it. I was, you know, like when you could see how many times a book. I was the only person borrowing this book.
I can also remember the cover, but I can't remember the name.
Mine
of the book.
was about mermaids. I know that for a fact. It was a blue book. It was about mermaids, but it was half human, half mermaid. So like they had houses, but it also led to the water. So like they would come on, they would have feet. And I need to find that book. I want to read it again, and I just don't even know where to start to find it.
Mine was a series, but it was like kind of like when a child will go on exchange to a different country. So the book had like a cover of like, let's say they went to France, and then like an envelope. So it would be like an exchange student thing. So then some of the dialogue would be like in the other language, but like not that much dialogue, because obviously you don't fully understand everything that they're saying. And that series, just couldn't find it again. And I tried to type in and explain what it looked like, will not come up.
No, I need to go look on Google and see if I can find
and
it.
I low-key just want to break into the library just to find it, because I know it's there.
I guarantee that when you break into the library, babes, nothing. Like, those books
Gone.
are eaten.
Just dust.
Like,
Falling apart.
do you know how long those libraries have been closed?
I would literally just pick it up just to figure out the name, though.
That is a hazard. Just thinking of books. The books are just in there.
It's on fire.
Why did they even close? What happens? Why did they close the library?
I don't know. Because I was a frequenter. Every Saturday.
Why did they close the libraries? Somebody tell me. I need to know.
Literally
I need to know.
So the YA section was like this big. The children's section is like a whole room large. The sexy books is like a whole room large.
Our young adult was like under like the staircase. You could always hear someone going upstairs. And
but like
just be
it was
there.
like not enough books for young adults. So you would get through it fast, and you have to reread them over and over, because it's like there's nothing else.
To the point where like the librarians be like, this one again, like you sure you don't want to try something out?
No.
Like, no, they're like, but you're the only one that it's been going out to, because you bring it back and then you come back maybe a week later, like, you know what, I want to read it again. Just give me my book. At this point,
Let me have it.
just give me the book. They should have, because now look. I'm sad.
But Wattpad, the transition was actually
I still have Wattpad on my phone. I don't know what.
And the bad grammar, the bad spelling.
I know. And then the comments of like everybody reading and like.
I loved when they used to put links to songs. One of the Abby Haven's books that I just finished, that I literally fell in love with.
There's some books that have like a
playlist. And I was like, those books are so good, because like you play the song and you get into the vibe and you're vibing with it, and each chapter in this Abby, because it's called Happy Ever playlist, the Happy Ever After playlist, and each chapter has, and I looked on Apple Music, it's on Spotify, but I looked on Apple Music and I was just like, play, and while I'm listening to it and reading it, and I'm literally feeling all of the emotions that you could possibly feel with this book.
Oh, okay, I need to read these books.
And I was like, I'm going back to what that is, where it literally is just like,
it was at the top, and then you just I felt my people.
Like, even when there were like sexy scenes and they would randomly put on like Usher or something,
oh my gosh, there was this, I don't even remember, was it Zayn? There was one that was Zayn Pillow Talk or something. Girl,
literally new songs that were just about sex, they would just clip that in just because it was about sex, and it would go with the Wattpad thing, but necessarily it wouldn't necessarily go, and you'd just be like, okay.
We got what you're trying to do.
But I just used to be so engrossed in them, and then you had to wait for people to add the next chapter.
Everybody's commenting like, when is the next chapter going? Oh my god.
And these stories that people would just stop. You would just stop.
You're there in limbo, and like they would just never continue it.
There were so many books that people loved so much that people just had to go epilogue part 1, epilogue part 2, epilogue part 3, and just keep adding on, because nobody ever wanted these stories to finish. My trope was best friend's boyfriend or brother's best friend.
For me, it was best friend. Yeah, brother's best friend's boyfriend. The other one was like, what do you call it? Like shifters. Like I love shifters and like mates and like wolf mates.
Literally, that's actually the only fantasy that I've actually got into.
Yeah, because I don't like fantasy.
I don't like when they're already whatever they are. Like shift into shift from whatever you are.
I think that is my problem. You have just helped me understand what it is. Because I'm just
I don't want you
like,
to be a fairy all the time.
thank you.
Like, I don't fully
I
understand
want
those
to be able
powers.
to be something else and then be a human and just continue
Yeah.
my life and then be like, oh, I kind of feel like changing back. I don't want to have to be one thing.
Yeah.
Don't box me.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. Okay, got it.
Yep.
I'm done.
Wattpad days.
I know.
And you literally, I go home after school, just scroll. And then when a chapter would end, I would just be like, when is this person going to upload? I need them to upload right
What's
now.
worse is like if you had your notification so you would get it like as soon as it drops, so then you'd be waiting even longer because you'd be reading it as it drops.
Yeah. Or if the person writes, oh, I didn't have time today, so this is going to be a short chapter, and you just be like,
No, like make time. Wait.
just
Prioritize.
short chapter. I waited a day.
I know,
For this.
right? We were so entitled.
Waited a day for this.
We were so entitled.
Which, can we talk about parasocial relationships?
I mean,
Because I feel like that ties into everything that we've been talking about. And like feeling like if you have a relationship with different characters, different actors, different people. So
and I think it's because when you're going through so many different things, you need to feel like you can relate to someone.
And then when you do,
and then when you do, there's this bond that's formed, even though they're not real. But then that also is why it messes with your mental health, because you form this attachment to someone that's not real, and when it ends, you have to go back to reality, but you don't want to anymore because you found something in this beautiful book that makes you feel like, you know, everything's gonna be okay. But when you close that book, you're back to like everything that you are trying to escape.
I literally have existential crises.
I'm
just like, why is my life not going like this? Why is this not happening to me?
Oh my goodness.
Because I am this person, and I feel like if that should just be happening to me. And then when it's not, or it can put a damper on your relationship if you start to have expectations of like a character that's not real.
My husband is quick to be like, hi. I am
that
not one
for
of your
you.
characters in the book. Come back to reality. You know,
But it's
like,
hard
take
to
break.
come back to reality sometimes.
No, it really is, because like it becomes such a safe space for you to feel what you're feeling without like feeling like someone's gonna judge you, because like it's just you and the characters. So like you just throw everything and all your feelings into that space, but then when you have to come back out to reality, firstly you don't even want to express yourself to people outside of that book, and then you're so accustomed to just being able to feel those things freely that like when you come out to the real world, you're like, you forget that, you know, not everybody everybody is gonna accept you like that character has accepted you in your head. So then you have to deal with the pressure and like the anxiety that comes with now seeing that you're being judged for like the thoughts you're having, or like it's just,
especially when you're being delulu, because
I am
the characters, especially with people that like write really good books, they give you the thoughts that you're feeling, the emotions you're feeling, and it's like all the delulu things that you're willing to feel, they're like,
it's almost like sometimes you feel like that author was sitting next to you writing that book.
And then people react, the characters react the way that you would want them to react, or even if they don't, when they apologize, is it the apology that you feel like if you needed?
Because why am I crying when somebody apologizes, or like why am I crying when someone's healing from like something that I've never even gone through? Let's start with that.
No, the ones you have gone through kind of break you a little bit, because
definitely.
But the ones you haven't gone through, it's like now you have this, it's almost crazy, where you're just like, no, I feel like if that's me, and I don't know how to cope with it, because you've coped with it in this book for like a week or 2 weeks. I'm not coping with it for like a couple seconds, and I need to figure myself out. And then you're just like,
and then you have to forget too, time is so different.
Yes,
because you're reading that book, and that book is like 2-3 years sometimes, depending on like what's happening. But in that moment, that's like a few. Well, for us, it's a few days. For other normal people, maybe a few weeks to read a book. But for us, it's like 1-2 days, and you're supposed to process all of that in 2 days.
Yep.
Absolutely not. So that's also why we end up in this like funk after reading the books, because you're feeling all these things, but you really don't have the time to process them, and then you're coming back to reality. So you can't even process reality or the book. Oh my goodness.
So the happy ever after playlist. That is a choke saying that every single time. That book, it's a grief book. I'm not gonna do spoilers for this book.
I want to read it.
I feel like I already did spoilers in the other episodes, but I'm not gonna do it right now.
Okay.
You'll read it before we get there. So that book, while you're reading it, they fall in love so fast. Literally, like, they fall in love. It's insane. And when you're reading it, you're kind of like, even they are just like,
how did we get here?
This is crazy. How are you falling in love so fast? But it's like a deep type of love that when they're away from each other, it doesn't make any sense. But like, then it goes 3 minutes later, and you're like,
hold on.
I was just getting accustomed to this.
Like, hold on.
And then more months later, and then a year later, because this one has to skip for the plot, for the reason, like, because the overarching theme of it, like, it needed you to see how it went over.
And what happened.
But then when the ending happens, I literally came out into real life being like, why is this on me? And then it literally triggered me to go and be like, you need to make this happen right now. And it wasn't realistic because we have a plan. My life has a plan currently, at least a loose plan. And I was like, no, right now.
No, sometimes I read books and I'm like, so I want to do this with my life, Charlene. No. You in the moment, you do. No.
But yes, we do.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not.
It's not healthy.
It's not. And then if I read books about like grief,
it took me a day to get over that book. I was so happy after finishing it, and then it instantly festered. And that's where emotional regulation comes in. Ooh. I suck at emotional regulation, so I was so happy.
I want to pretend that I'm not bad at it, but
we know. So happy.
We know.
I was just like, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful story, and I love this story, and blah blah blah. And then I was like, I can't handle this because my life isn't going this fast, and I don't get to. Can we skip to the good part? I don't get to do that. And it felt like if that book was Can We Skip to the Good Part in so many times that when it came out to reality, I was like, I hate life. I hate life how it is right now. I'm sick of hustling. I'm sick of grinding hard. I just want it to be happy. Just give me the house, the kids, the 5 million dogs. Give it to me right now. Please. Because this life of being a young adult and having to struggle and having to push yourself is like, that's not for me. I would like to live the princess.
I feel like that's how, for me, when I was reading, have you read The Sun Writes Are Pretty?
Yeah.
So for that's about so many things, but I will focus on the grief part and about like losing someone. You see, when we got to like the spoiler alert, by now you should have watched the series and read the book, to be honest. But like when Suzanne died, right?
Girl, when Suzanne died, I was done. I was just like, I don't know what to do.
Because I feel like one thing I can admit now that so many years has passed is I never really processed like the grief of losing loved ones. So when, I don't know, man, when she died, all that grief came right flooding out. I was firstly I watched the series. I watched the series first. I didn't even read the books yet. I watched the series first, and I just remember Janai looking like, why are we bawling? Like I'm in the bed, comforter, my chips, like snotty crying, because it's like it brought out so many feelings. It forced me to face my grief. My goodness. And I was like, never again. And I was like, after a while, I'm done watching series. I'm done reading these type of books. I was like, I think I just need a break. And to be honest, have I actually read this?
And then you start back. You have your break and then you start back.
Because I think too, you don't want to feel those uncomfortable feelings. You would rather be the Lulu. So then when you realize, oh, this is taking me to a place I didn't really want to go, then you're like, let's take a break. But then you can't resist it because it's like you want to escape still. It's a cycle. But now, like, I think about her and I get sad. She's a character, and sometimes, like, say, like, I see.
But
like
some of these characters are real people.
So, like, if I see the actress, I start to get sad. Like, she died.
They're based
she didn't
on
die,
people.
but like.
So, like, some of Colleen Hoover's books are based on real life stories.
Why would you, hold on?
Because you have to be sad.
Don't tell me
with
that.
me.
Don't tell me that, because I'm gonna be driving now and I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, Suzanne died. How are her kids?
Some of them are fake, but some of them, like, they're like some of those. And I think that's what most authors are doing now. They're getting their grief out, and that's their mental health relief, to get their traumas, their processing out into these books.
So what you're saying is basically
we get
they're
traumatized,
healing, and now we have to go to therapy because we're traumatized.
100%. But it also gets you to have those moments, like, where you get to watch it end with us and read it ends with us. And if you've gone through domestic violence, if you've gone through that grief and that loss, because she loses her dad, she was mad at her dad, but she lost him, but she also hated him. Yeah. But, like, also loved him because that's her dad.
She lost. It's like you're losing someone, but you wanted them so much to be something else, and that in itself is a whole other set of grief.
Yep.
Yeah.
So these books help you to get that out. As you said, you cry with them, you heal sometimes with the characters, and even if you read something that you've never actually gone through, you can always take some of that plot and apply it to your life.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
This is not exactly identical, but I relate to her because I would have felt this way, or I usually feel this way, and now I have to figure out how to cope better, deal with things better. And that's what I truly love about reading and getting engrossed in books, because you just feel like, damn.
The summer I interpreted for sure that on top of it bringing out all the grief that I never processed, it also reminded me, okay, you really need to talk about that hurt you're feeling, even if it doesn't even have to be like the grief of like someone actually dying, the grief of like losing a friendship or just losing something that you thought would be forever. You need to talk about it. Like that whole like bottling it turns into this massive explosion eventually when it hits. And I had to learn that, because that was when I had my whole it was a meltdown. When I had my meltdown, I was like, oh gosh, there's a lot of stuff that you needed to get out, and if you keep bottling this, it's going to be way more problematic in the long run. So I mean, it was a great reminder to me that, hey, you should really discuss some things, you know, you should really be in tune with yourself a little bit more. Don't wait until you're like bawling in front of the TV about a fictional character to address the issues that you really don't want to address. Whew, but girl, sometimes I just want to be Delulu, you know? I don't want to.
And in those Delulu moments, this is where you turn to a genre that you would never read and get the escapism out of that.
Fair.
So when I can't take the romance anymore, when I can't take the grief and the trauma and the young adult books that just keep bringing out stuff, I'm like, let's go fantasy.
Yeah.
Let's
I'll
go
to my shifters.
World.
My little shifter books.
Give me something that would never happen to me. And let me just experience that. Like, so we had gotten me into Nalini Singh and like Slave to Sensation. Not even the sexual part of that book, it was literally just like the coolness of like the characters, and being like, oh, you could change into a leopard. Oh, she's like a Sai, which means like she's kind of robotic and isn't supposed to have emotions.
You need to read Christine Phelan then.
I'm like,
you need that.
Yeah. And then she broke the barrier, because they have like this mental guard thing where they're not supposed to feel emotional because it'll kind of kill them, and then she breaks hers to be in love with him, and It's so in tune where you're just like, this is not real, and it is cool, and thank you, because I can't deal with what is going on in life right now, and I need to deal with this.
When you need more escape books, I got you. I have like 8 books. Christine Fia and the Leopard series.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, she has about 13 now, and a new one's dropping in November, and I've already pre-ordered it.
I love that.
I will hook you up with those, because those, like...
The only issue with Nalini Singh, that series, I think they're at like book 28 now, and I can't do that. I tried to restart it, and I got like 9 of the books, and I was like, some of the books are boring though. But she creates an entire world, so from book 1, it kind of like more expands more and more and more.
Luckily, the Christine Fia ones, they can be standalones. Like they would kind of reference other stuff from the books, but you won't feel lost. You will just be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, and then you continue. Because you can imagine trying to imagine you just randomly got book 23, and you're like, say what now? Where are we? What's happening?
Why do the wolves hate these people?
Thank you. Yeah. No.
Who are these
I definitely would say I probably like books that can be standalones.
Yeah, and the Abby Jimenez books, even though they're a trilogy, she has 2 different trilogies. They're standalone books, interconnected books. So if you read them, you're like, oh, I know this character from the first book, but their backstory isn't necessary to what's happening in the book that they're in.
Is it art?
Because it'll be explained again in a
different way. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. There's this author. I don't know. Is she R.H. Sin? Where it's like Twisted Games.
I know what you
Twisted
mean.
Hate.
See those books? I haven't read those, but I know what you mean.
Those are standalones, but like the characters are all interwoven, so you will see them in the book, but like you won't feel that you're missing anything. You have to read them, and then you have to tell me who's your favorite person. I have a favorite character that I have fallen in love with from that series, hands down. And then I went on BookTok, and they had a little, you know when they have those little effects, and it was like, who would be your BookTok boyfriend? And it was him. I was like, they know me. It was him. I was like, yes! I was so excited. Why was I excited?
Because in your fictional world, the love of your life came up for you.
It was fate. It was fate, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
That is exactly what happened. And I love just getting into these, because sometimes it's just like you don't have time for all of it in your real life. Partners and stuff. It's just like everybody has stuff to do.
No, because in that fictional world,
but I could just pick it up. But
my boyfriend, he's a doctor. He's saving lives, but he still has time for me. He flew me to Switzerland.
Let's talk about it. It ends with us. He's a neurosurgeon, and we see that much of him.
Let's talk about it.
Because
why are you always here?
Yeah.
Like you.
And then
do you ever go to work?
You had this surgery that was so big, and you were cooking, and you're dumb enough to take up a pot without. Oh yeah.
He still did it, didn't he, or something like that? He ended up doing it, right?
It was successful.
Oh.
And you're just like, so you hit her for nothing.
But remember, did he hit her?
He did. There was a part. This is how I knew before it came to reveal that he was domestic abuser. He says, when you hurt yourself. He says it in the book, and he says it in the movie. And I said, well,
you are right.
Don't gaslight me. When I hurt myself.
Said to the camera.
When I hurt myself, even when I was like, but it was an accident, so why would you say when I hurt myself? Like,
you know, I never even thought of that.
When I hurt myself,
I never even thought of that. You know, the scary part in the movie for me though was when he was so calm over her. I was just like, my heart was racing. He was just like, it's okay. I was like, no, you're too calm.
You just fell down the stairs.
Too calm.
You just
too
You just bumped your head.
Too calm.
I didn't just bump my head.
And when you saw me, you know, I'm upset. I'm upset.
That line, when you hurt yourself.
You're right, and it never clicked. Cause in my head I was like, yeah, we just clumsy.
In the book, I was like, I knew it.
And little
from the time
me
you
was
said
like,
that line.
we just clumsy.
No. I wanted to believe it too. But the way you hurt yourself, maybe it's a psychologist in me, but when I read that part, I said, wait a minute. Excuse me.
No, you're right.
I might be clumsy, but don't call me out.
You're right.
And then when he was being abusive, I was like, you see, that was some gaslighting. Because even if it was just being clumsy and it was an accident, why would you say when you hurt yourself? You were there, you're the one that did it. You did it to me. Even if it was an accident, you did it to me.
Not me going.
No.
I would have been gaslit.
No.
I would have been gaslit.
And me in the movie trying not to scream, being like, what do you mean? No. What do you mean when I hurt myself?
Oh, our theater, they were screaming. Like, that was the best, honestly. And I am a driving girlie.
When Atlas, he did something to take care of her, and the entire theater, since it was full of girls, went, oh.
My theater.
And I just giggled.
I would say, and I'm not a fan, I do not like to get in my car. I like to be in the driving, but we had to go to the theater because driving wasn't showing it. And I was like, that is what I like about the theater experience. There's like just hearing everybody else, and it's almost like a community came together. We are complete strangers, but we are here screaming.
There are some movies for that, and other movies, please shut up.
Facts. Because why are you talking about something that's happening in a movie when we can clearly see it's happening? We don't need the play-by-play.
I recently went to $6 Tuesday, and I'm not a violent person, but
you know,
I literally yelled shut up at her.
Most violent people start the conversation by saying I'm not violent,
but I'm not a violent person. But we walk in, sit down. There's 2 people, I don't even think that they were a couple, come in, sit on right next to me.
Right. As in not the one chair etiquette space.
Right next to me.
Okay.
I said,
already started.
I said, that's fine. Because we in the smaller theater that has those bigger chairs. So it's like a little bit further apart. Like, okay, I could deal with this.
Okay.
If it was the other theater, I would have been pissed.
No.
Because
I'm not sharing my drink holder. Like, I want to, like, yeah.
But we're like, okay, we're in a bigger theater. Cool. We're in a VIP seats that are in the theater.
Yeah.
And then advertisement for The Crow comes up. And she goes, what is this? This is not a Joker. Why is he dying? You hear how I'm shouting? Just like that. And I just sat there going, it's a trailer. We don't know why he's dying. We don't even know the name of that is the crow yet. We just see crows. And then she was, no, this can't be the Joker. We know it's not the Joker because this is not what the Joker looks like. If it was the trailer for the Joker, he would have looked like the Joker.
That would be very obvious.
He would be dressed in green and purple and lipstick and white. You would say, look, there's the Joker. Was there a Joker? There was no Joker. Not even one. And she kept talking loud, and I said, you know what? Let me just go on the other side of the... Yeah, but I'm going to switch seats. So I switched seats. The movie starts. Talking about something that has nothing to do with the movie. Just talk. Why are you talking? It started. Why are you talking? Why are you talking? You know? Because I don't care what you're talking about. Whisper if you must. But like, y'all are kikiing.
And they're right next to you.
And this is not a kiki place. This is also not a happy movie, a laughing movie.
Oh,
this is a serious movie.
No.
And you're... and we can hear the words coming out of your mouth. And like, of course, throughout the movie, some people go, yo, that's crazy. Like, of course, everybody will do that. But this person, entire movie, just talking. And then I had enough. And I said, shut up. And she said, who's that? And I looked at her.
And then what?
The lady that was next to me was like, oh no. What makes you thought that I'm not a violent person? But in that moment, I was angry. Because that was not time and place. It ends with us.
Shut up?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
She know it. She went to inside voice.
Okay.
It's the quiet people like me that when we tell you shut up, we mean it.
No,
Like,
because
don't play with me.
It takes a lot.
Yeah.
For us to reach that point.
Don't play with me.
But when we reach the point now, we just see right. Like there's no reasoning.
Don't play with me.
There's no diplomacy.
Don't play with me.
It is do this or else.
I was like, girl, shut up. Like, shut up, please. Mercy. Like, that's fine.
Tom will explain to me. Finish this word. I'm so
sorry.
Charlene, finish this work now. What do you mean?
But we're having so much fun.
We are.
Let me ask you a closing question.
Hello. wait, hold on. Hey babe, running a little late. Can we stand up outside late?
Oh, we can't get in.
No, as I'm picking him up from work.
Oh no, you didn't say that. Okay. All right, we done. Okay.
It's finish.
Okay. So how am I gonna close off that story?
This is I love this. This is chaotic. Not me telling him finishing up with Giovanni. No, you're Giovanni.
They'll be there soon. There won't be any traffic.
He's not far.
There won't be traffic. There won't be traffic. We're going back to the podcast. Okay.
Can we discuss how it took me 40 minutes to get from Lawrence to Idaho? It makes me want to. This is a mental health podcast, but it makes me want to lay in the road.
No.
It makes me want to lay in the road with oncoming traffic. Because I don't know. Most times I jam out. But there's some days that you're like, I
Please move
really,
the car.
I
Why are
really
we 5
can't.
cars behind? And then somebody will cut in front, and you'll just be like, you see?
That is. You know what? We can do multiple. How about we can do multiple podcasts together?
We can.
Like just bring me back when I don't have a Thursday.
Okay.
Later. Finishes later.
Whenever you would like to do the episode, let me know.
And we can actually
talk about body image and weight.
Because what are we talking about?
BookTok.
And mental health and how
it tied in.
How it's great for your mental health, but also be careful. Like, also be mindful. Come out of the fantasy world just a bit to check back in with reality. That's
your takeaway.
That's the takeaway. That is the takeaway. And I say that because I need to remember.
To be fair, that could have been your closing question, which is, what is one memorable piece of feedback or advice you've received from your audience or peers? Or you could pick a different question, 1 through 5. Because I feel like that's your feed.
Give me a 2.
2. As we wrap up, no, you just did that. Is there a piece of wisdom or a motto that you live by?
Let's try another one. So I already gave one. Let me give an extra one. Do not wait until you've reached a boiling point to deal with your issues. It's never going to work. Like, I feel like so often you're so consumed with what's happening around you, and you kind of tell yourself, I'm going to deal with it later, but later never comes. And then by the time you reach that boiling point, you can't properly address the situation because you're already in that like panicked anger phase where like you just don't care anymore. Address the issues. Seek professional help. Don't talk to me because I can tell you I want to lay in traffic. Talk to Simone. Talk to Simone because no,
that's not healthy.
Facts.
And we're not gonna lay in traffic.
Facts.
Right?
All seriousness, talk to someone professional. I always tell my friends too, I can help, I can give you advice, I can help, but like if it gets a little too heavy, I would rather you speak to someone that actually knows how to handle this situation, because I can't do that. I am not a professional. I am a professional Lulu girly. I will give you the wrong advice. So,
I'm going to also add on to that and say, just like how we can notice when we're reading a book, triggers that come up, all sorts of things happen in life where you could just go, oh shoot, trigger. And that's when you know, okay, I have to talk to somebody about this. I have to reach out. I have to get help. And don't be afraid to get help. Don't be ashamed to get help, because we all need help at some point in time. So
yeah, like I will be seeking help for my traffic lane stuff.
yeah, that's a bit concerning.
No, but nobody likes traffic. Nobody.
But having road rage is more like the way that people go.
Fair
Saying that I want to lay in traffic isn't quite the route. But we'll talk about that another time.
Let's talk about it.
Because we do need to talk about that. But thank you so much, Charlene, for coming.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun. Although you're probably now like, let me just message her at the end of each word. Hey girl, did you get home? Are you driving right now?
Is the traffic
Oh.
pissing you off? Are we using our coping skills? Are we okay?
Like, are you listening to your favorite playlist?
Mm-hmm.
Have you eaten for this? I can see it now. I can see your name pop out and I'm like, I'm gonna see it pop down and I'll just be like,
Don't ignore me. You know that I'm here for you.
and you'll know I'm ignoring you.
Yep.
Like,
100%.
She saw that.
100%. I will be like, don't ignore me. Don't ignore me. I see you ignoring me. It's fine.
I'm dead.
So, I'll see you next time while we need to talk. Bye.
Bye.